honey yard, dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey yard, dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey yard, dash, honey yard, dash, honey yard, dash, honey yard, dash, honey yard, dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can call for the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call us up making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on, smash. Put in the
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Ready to break.
Clock 49. Watch the play.
Yep.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Rudolph now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Did have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Watch twist. Watch twist. Check 26. Check 26.
Look. Squeeze. Now.
Stand open. Watch 36.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
It's now
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
26-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Check. No. Off. Check 15.
Handoff, Coleman, right side. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
Oh, good move. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt was sack number 23 on the year, breaking Michael Strahan's mark of 22.5. Congratulations. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is taken at the 18. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Come on. Get it.
Here's Rudolph. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
I got you.
Ready?
Out of the gun, Rudolph. Well, he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache.
Here's Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Gain of 10 brings up 3rd and
And there's a
4.
completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
Baltimore, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Hey, I'm coming.
We're scoreless after 1.
With no score.
Set, ready. Now the wood. We own it.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's bring it. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he finds a man with a crossing route. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there, and then
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt with sack number 23 on the year, breaking Michael Strahan's mark of 22.5. Congratulations. Sacks a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long.
Mike 55. They can't hang with us.
Jackson now. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
the amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Jackson on 3rd and long. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Miles Boykin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
First down, Steelers.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the slap. Watch the slap. Watch the slap.
Right back to Connor here on 1st. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Matt Judon there to bring him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hey, Alpha, you better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. Watch 36. 36 to Mike. You ain't going nowhere. Mike, 36.
From the 38, Rudolph, and it's complete. He gets this one to Washington, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 7.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Let's go. 90 Wolf. 49. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Under 2.
They'll try and run forward with Connor. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Connor. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Hey, I-7. 49.
From the 39, Rudolph. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman of the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Check 55, Mike. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. It's hard to know who's more dynamic between quarterback Lamar Jackson and that man Hollywood Brown. But they're just going to try to get the ball in Brown's hands early and often like they did there and see what he can produce. So many folks in Baltimore excited about this young pup, and for good reason. The rookie first-rounder out of Oklahoma is explosive. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Watch the safety creep.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Check. Lucky.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the 2nd half of Week 17 is underway. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the 2nd half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Watching your guy. It's been a long day for you.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Decision as he stopped in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this one is right down the middle. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Hey, exit. You're playing the wrong football. Mike 36. Mike 36. And it's getting them holes.
Now Rudolph. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked up here by Jimmy Smith. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Tucker with the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0.
Steelers, nothing. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down 17-0, really needing to find that offensive spark on this drive as they have it with a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Rudolph. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive. knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch 36.
Rudolph. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Rudolph. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here's Thomas. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and 13.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
From the gun, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll stay on the ground with Conner again. And an alley to run. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner, 76 yards. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check hot route. Hot. Sponge. Smack. Sponge. No.
Now it's Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bud Dupree in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Now Jackson throwing on 3rd and long. He's going deep for Brown. Got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Oh, yeah. And here we go.
Shotgun handoff down to McCaffrey. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson dancing to his left. Room to run past midfield. This will be caught by Brown. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now it's Rudolph. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. 56, Mike, 56. Check the outs, check the outs.
Rudolph looking to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Rudolph throwing again. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. From the corner, Jimmy Smith blitzes for the sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
And the Steelers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17.
Hey. 36. Get ready.
Here's Rudolph. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Look at me. Zip hit.
Here we go on 4th. Rudolph. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
It's just me and you. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Switch.
On first down, Coleman. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They will run again with Coleman. And an alley to run. They'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 19-yard line. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
They'll run on first down. It's Coleman. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
A 4-yard gain brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
The play lost a yard. It's now 3rd and goal.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Ravens, a final win here means they'll finish off the regular season at a solid 13-3. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll limp to the finish line with a final record of 5-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself.